Good morning and welcome to my little video. This one is just a shorty. Again, it's probably going to be no more than 5 minutes, so thank you for your time. I just wanted to talk about the lie of climate change. Since the 1970s, we've been bombarded by catastrophic ideas. So there was going to be in the 1970s an ice age. It's metamorphosed probably into the 2007 when we had the inconvenient truth by that rather strange politician that we've never heard of ever again, the American politician. The inconvenient truth was packed full of lies, from the hockey stick curve, which was one of them, right through to a whole range of other things, that they were complete lies. We've had the United Nations pushing the climate catastrophe story. It is a complete lie. Many of the scientists that are currently in tenure at universities across the Western world are too scared to talk up. They're too scared to actually say, no, climate is part of a cycle, and that cycle has been going on for several thousand years. And we see that, for example, there was a medieval warming period when vines were grown quite north, into the north of England, for example, where I'm broadcasting from in England. I'm down on the coast in Sussex, and now there are vineyards growing lovely, lovely grapes and award-winning English champagne. It can't be called champagne; it's called English sparkling wine. So climate has changed over thousands of years. We had an ice age a few thousand years ago, which came down as far as where I'm speaking from in Sussex. And then it stopped and then it retreated. So we've seen climate warm, we've seen it cool. The most notable ones in recorded recent history have been the River Thames ice fairs, where the River Thames froze up. And they had, on a number of occasions, ice fairs where people walked on the ice on the River Thames. Tried doing that today. So things cool, they warm, they cool, they warm, they cool. There was a very famous scientist at the beginning of this century in the 2001, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, called David Bellamy. He was basically blackballed by the BBC. He actually had very good academic credentials, but he was basically completely stymied by the BBC, who have gone for climate change, climate catastrophe, net zero, hook, line, and sinker. Bellamy, on the other hand, said, no, it's a complete and idiotic ideology. And then we have people like Greta Thunberg. Greta Thunberg, if you look at the timeline, she was pushed by the United Nations. She was she wasn't really a student. She's never achieved any academic qualifications in her life. But basically, Greta Thunberg was pushed by the United Nations as well as her parents. And she's not said anything of any note. When net zero came into the British Parliament, it was never really debated. It's only now, under the Labour disaster Parliament of 2004 onwards, where we've got idiots like Ed Miliband pushing net zero, concreting over fracking sites. We need to mine coal. We need to fracture rocks to get gas out. We need to harvest gas. We need to harvest oil in the North Sea and on land. And we need to open up our old coal mines. We need to sensibly use with decent filters so that the environment doesn't suffer. I'm an environmentalist, would you believe? I don't believe in damaging our environment, but we must use energy. The energy costs in Britain are the highest in the world. Ed Miliband is the energy secretary under Keir Starmer's failing Labour government. He must go, and he must go soon. Even the trade unions are beginning to realise this. Can I urge you to write to your MP? Can I urge you to get involved in a political party that does not subscribe to the idiotic ideology of net zero. Thank you for your time. God's blessing me so much. I hope he's blessing you. I'm a Christian, and I just wanted to share with you very briefly John 3:16. You may remember that from your Sunday school days. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that none should perish, but that all men and women should have everlasting life. I'll leave that with you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your indulgence for the last minute or two of my evangelical call. Thank you and goodbye. God bless you.